Michael Jackson. Obsession with perfection. Full story. Michael Jackson was not just the king of pop, he was the king of discipline, hard work, and perfection. From the earliest days of his childhood to the very last rehearsals of his life, one truth remained clear: Michael never settled for good enough. He wanted to be the best, and not just the best of his time, but the best the world had ever seen. This story takes us through the many stages of Michael Jackson's career, exploring how his perfectionism shaped him, elevated him, and sometimes even broke him. Chapter 1. The Making of a Prodigy. Michael Jackson's obsession with perfection began in Gary, Indiana, inside a small home where 9 children lived under one roof. His father, Joseph Jackson, was strict, some would say harsh. He demanded discipline, practice, and precision from his children. At just 5 years old, Michael joined the Jackson 5. From the very beginning, his father drilled into him that mistakes were unacceptable. If a dance step was missed, if a note was off-key, the rehearsal stopped, and it began again, sometimes late into the night. Most children would have rebelled, but not Michael. Instead, he absorbed this pressure and turned it into fuel. He wanted not only to satisfy his father's expectations, but to rise above them. He wanted to be perfect. Chapter 2. The young star who outshone them all. When the Jackson 5 signed with Motown Records in 1968, Michael was only 10 years old. Yet, in every studio session, producers and musicians noticed something remarkable. Michael rehearsed longer than the others. He memorized every lyric, every harmony, every beat. If the producer was happy with take 3, Michael would ask to do take 4, believing he could do better. Motown executives marveled at his work ethic. Michael didn't just sing songs, he lived inside them. He studied how Smokey Robinson used his falsetto, how Diana Ross projected emotion, how James Brown electrified audiences. When performing on stage, Michael wasn't satisfied if the crowd clapped. He wanted them stunned, speechless, overwhelmed. He practiced spins, kicks, and microphone tricks endlessly in his room, perfecting the timing until it looked effortless. What people saw was magic. What they didn't see was the endless hours behind the curtain. Chapter 3. Breaking Free. By the late 1970s, Michael wanted more than just being part of a successful group. He wanted to redefine music itself. When he recorded Off the Wall with producer Quincy Jones, Michael became relentless in the studio. He rehearsed each vocal until every note felt pure. He sometimes did 20 takes of a single line, searching for a sound that only he could hear in his head. Dancers recall Michael stopping rehearsals dozens of times, insisting that the choreography wasn't snappy enough. If a hand was raised a fraction too late, if a spin wasn't sharp enough, everything paused. To him, perfection was not negotiable. Chapter 4. Thriller, the pursuit of the impossible. Then came Thriller. Michael wanted not just a hit album, he wanted the greatest album ever recorded. He told Quincy Jones and his team that every song had to be good enough to be a single. That was unheard of in the music industry. Most albums had 3 or 4 strong tracks. Michael wanted 9. He worked day and night in the studio, fine-tuning every element. Even on songs like Billie Jean, which producer Quincy Jones initially didn't want to include, Michael insisted. He believed in it so strongly that he fought for its place. And then came the music videos. Michael transformed them into cinematic events. For Thriller, he rehearsed with choreographer Michael Peters for weeks until every zombie dancer moved as one. He made dancers rehearse for 12 hours a day. Mistakes were unacceptable. The result, Thriller became the best-selling album of all time. Michael had achieved perfection on a global scale. Chapter 5. The Moonwalk and the Legend. On March 25, 1983, during the Motown 25, Yesterday, Today, Forever television special, Michael Jackson unveiled the moonwalk. What the world didn't know was how many nights Michael had spent practicing that move in his kitchen, in his studio, on smooth floors, on rough surfaces, studying the illusion of gliding backwards while moving forward. When he finally performed it live during Billie Jean, the audience screamed, not realizing they were witnessing history. That 2-second move changed pop culture forever. For Michael, it was proof that hard work plus perfectionism created magic. Chapter 6. Dangerous, History, and the Price of Perfection. As Michael grew older, his obsession with perfection only intensified. During the Dangerous World Tour, he demanded that lighting, sound, and pyrotechnics be flawless. If a firework went off half a second too late, Michael noticed. If a dancer missed a beat, Michael noticed. His bodyguards and crew recall him spending hours after shows replaying video footage, criticizing himself. My spin wasn't sharp enough. The glove didn't sparkle properly under the spotlight. I can do better. Even when fans saw a flawless show, Michael saw flaws. This perfectionism, however, came with a cost. Rehearsals became exhausting. Tours took a toll on his health. Michael's drive for perfection often left him restless, unable to enjoy his achievements. Chapter 7. This Is It, The Final Rehearsals. In 2009, as Michael prepared for his comeback concerts, This Is It, he was 50 years old. Yet his obsession had not faded. Dancers and crew members described him as both gentle and demanding. He would encourage his team with love, but he expected nothing short of perfection. He rehearsed until midnight, perfecting every move, every note, every breath. Even in his final days, Michael was still pushing himself to reach new heights of excellence. Chapter 8. The Legacy of Perfection. Michael Jackson's life teaches us something profound. Perfection was his gift and his curse. It gave the world masterpieces like Thriller, Billie Jean, and the Moonwalk. It pushed him to break records no artist has ever touched. But it also left him restless, forever unsatisfied, forever chasing the impossible. Yet maybe that's why Michael Jackson remains the king of pop. He didn't just create music, he created art so perfect, it felt timeless. He once said, "Greater than, the greatest education in the world is watching the masters at work." And when you finally become the master, never stop working. Michael never stopped working, he never stopped striving, he never stopped perfecting, and that is why his music, his performances, and his influence will never die.